Alright, hey everybody, this should be the final stream on these fellas. I did do a little bit of work off stream. I did decals, and I painted the purity seals. I also went through and free-handed some of the leathering on here, just because I thought it would be a little bit... I don't know. I didn't think I could capture it on camera well, was my main concern. So I did it off stream. Sorry about that, but if anyone wants, I can tutorialize shortly on how exactly I did that, if anyone is who needs a little bit of advice in that region. But now we're probably just going to do the whites of the eye lenses nice and early here. I should have these guys done probably this stream. So I need to figure out what I am going to do next stream. So, there is a link to a straw poll. Feel free to vote in that. And you can decide what I'm painting next, because I got a lot of projects that I could potentially be working on here. How pure are my seals? Extraordinarily so, I'll have you know. I was just watching this guy, I got no username. He does really cool, like, variety gaming streams. He started watching, a real old YouTube video, and it honestly did take me back a little bit. That was a nice, nice hit of nostalgia on this pretty gloomy Saturday night, at least it is for me. I am really liking how we did the white here. I always like to do a little bit of experimenting. Even if I paint the same scheme a couple of times, I always like to iterate. And I do like the sort of yellowed, like, recesses that the white areas have. I think next I'll probably just paint this guy's face. I don't know. If anyone has a preference in regards to hair color, let me know. Or I can do like a white skin tone. Hope everybody is having a good night and a good weekend. Let me know if you are working on anything. Also, there's going to be a new segment at the end of the stream. So if you join my Discord, there is, under the stream interaction setting, there's a mini review channel. So you can post pictures in that if you want to, right? You know, don't feel any pressure to. And I will basically, at the end of the stream, we'll go over and we'll look at those. So if you have your minis broadcast, that is the way to do it. I hope you're doing well, Perky. Have you been working on anything in particular? I believe it was you that was working on the Exodites, right? I might just leave his hair black. I was for sure. Now I am working on my Ravenwing. Played 40k last night and today. How did your Ravenwing army go? I know you were talking to me about your little build with oh god, was it you could take the Ravenwing command squad as support? So that Samael could be their leader, and you just stack all those buffs together. The moving through cover and the, it's like advancing charge or something. I don't know, I don't play too much 40k anymore, so I know the exact rules, but that's what I recall from last stream. But yeah, I hope that did very well. I played 40k last night. Sorry, not 40k, I played Warhammer last night. That was Warhammer The Old World. Fortunately, I haven't played too much of the new edition at all. I played one test game with a friend. And that's about it. I do want to get back into it at some point. But in terms of actual wargaming time, I've been having a good time with the Old World. We'll give that a second to dry, and then we'll do a second coat. How did the Exodites come together? I do maybe want to start. I'm not. It is. Oh. It is the first 2 times playing it, and the army... Oh, and my first 2 times for 11th. But yeah, they are super mobile and aggressive. Certainly a niche army, but I am jazzed to put in the reps to get good at it. Yeah, I think that is one of the nice things. 10th was very, very one-note for most armies. Especially if you didn't have a codex. And I feel like the attack system really helps you make armies your own again. So that is a really nice element of it. What force disposition do you have? For me, so far, for all my, even like the armies I haven't played, the lists I've made, I'm always trying to get Purge, just because I feel like Purge is, it gives me less to worry about. It gives me a very clear game plan. The only game I played was Purge on Purge. Like, the game today, he was beating me up model-wise, but I was way outscoring him. I played Recon. That makes sense for a fast-moving army. Recon absolutely does make sense. So I assume it's not your big brick of Deathwing there doing the scoring. Do you have, like, Outriders or, like, Scouts or something, I assume? Maybe helping you on those objectives? I feel like maybe even some of those Phobos guys would make sense for a Recon army. I'm actually going to touch up the leather just a little bit. Because in some areas, some of these models looked really good, but some, I feel like last stream, I didn't go quite as heavy on the highlights as I should have. I feel like that was way too much of a highlight, but whatever. We'll deal with it. I was a bit off camera, my bad. I have a captain, Phobos armor, and the Tome of Combi weapon doing a lot of work for me. Then in 5 turns, I even use my land spears to do actions if need be. Gotcha. Yeah, in Old World, it's very restricted. The only units that can score are core units, which is going to be about 25% of your army is core units. Typically, it's only 1 or 2 bricks of guys, like squads, basically, for 40k terms. And only if they're above unit strength 10. So it's very limited on who can actually even score objectives in that game. Which on one hand I like, however, like I was playing Wood Elves, and he had 1 unit that can score objectives. And even then, like, I cast 1 magic missile at him. And already he's depleted at a point where he just can't score for the rest of the game. Outriders is battle line? That's cool. I assume that's like probably the attachment lets you do that, right? The Outriders battle line. Alright, let me look at the poll real quick. Okay, so right now we got Sisters of Battle in the lead. But that's only 1 vote in so far. In the pinned comment, there's going to be a link to a straw poll. There you can vote on what I'm going to work after I finish these guys. I'll probably be finishing this stream, so get your votes in. Let me know what I should work on next. Alright. Let me see how dry this guy's, is. Not quite good for a wash. So, I'm gonna take out some contrast paints. I'm gonna get these eye lenses. Alright. Let me see what people are saying here. Is it true that in order to learn to play the game at a proficient level, you need a coach or friends who are very good players? What do you consider proficient? Are you looking to be best in the world, or are you looking to, like, know how to play the game? Bingo. Hey, Warden. Like, I don't think I ever had a very, like... I play with... So, let's say for Old World, right? There's a guy at my store. I love playing with him. He is one of the best players in the world at his army. That guy, I never asked him for coaching. I never like specifically learned from him. I think playing against good people will help you a lot. I don't think you really need a coach though. Like I wouldn't pay someone for a coaching service or something like that. Instead, Piotr. A fellow Polak, I'm pretty sure. It said I would just, learn the game, learn to play. It's nice to have friends who are good, and like know the game. But again, I think it means what you mean by proficient and what you mean by very good, right? Like, you don't need like these top level guys teaching you how to do the basics. And if you just want to like learn to play the game at a reasonable level, I think just playing games, even against maybe not the most skilled opponents, will. Have you? And if you never played tabletop games, yeah, I mean, I think it's nice to know people, right? This is obviously it's a two to tango situation, right? You definitely need someone, and I think it's nice if you have someone who knows the game. But I don't think they necessarily need to be very good. So I probably disagree with that part of your question. Like, I don't think you necessarily need to be a top guy. But yeah, so having someone who's experienced will help. Treat it like chess. Just analyze every game and you figure out why you lost. That is definitely a big part. You learn more after the game than you do during the game, if that makes sense. You're almost done with the terrain. Nice. It's been a while since I've painted up a big terrain piece. I probably need some more so I have like a nice looking home board for like if I ever want to do videos, but hey. It's also a thing like I'm the kind of guy I don't like to play on like the same board every game. I like to switch up the locales and the terrain setup. So it's also like like if I got one nice looking home board, I would then want to get like multiple terrain sets. Post updates. Look after stream. I think I've been looking at your updates in the your Discord, by the way. I just kind of looked there most of the time, but I think I'm familiar. But if you want to share your updates with everyone here, I had a new idea for this stream. What we're gonna do is on my Discord, there is a link in the description. You can post your progress pictures, and we will do a stream review. So at the end of the stream, we'll review everyone's minis. Obviously, only post them if you are comfortable with me actually sharing those pictures on the broadcast. You're never painting terrain again? I just slap with a big brush. That's my approach. Sorry, Yother. So if you don't know anyone, it's not advised to start. My problem is I have read the rules. I don't understand them. I generally have problems with understanding written stuff. There are good videos. There's a guy called Auspex Tactics who does a pretty good series. I would see if there's like local communities. Like I think it is correct that like having someone actually teach the game to you is oftentimes way easier. So like see if you have local game stores, if there's like local infrastructure. If there is not, yeah, there are very good. 40k is very popular. There are many good videos you could find for Warhammer 40,000 11th edition that will teach you the basics and teach you to play. Yep, there is a link in the description, Gordon. I know, it took long enough. Yeah, this guy is like a weird, I think like paint chipped or something. He has like a weird glassy spot on top of his dumb head. We have to fix that later in the stream. Also, we're gonna do some final edge highlights on the armor. And I think as part of that, I'm just going to go in and really quickly just sort of try and color match to fix up that sort of weird looking spot. So it's like a shiny finish. Really doesn't look too good. So hopefully that helps. Alright, we just got our first submission for the mini review from Perky. Also, in the pinned message in the chat, there's going to be a link to a straw poll. There, you're going to be able to vote on what I paint after these guys. So if you want, if you want to try and decide what I'm going to do after this, that is the way you can do that. I was thinking on hair color for this guy. I don't know. Maybe black. Sort of like a salt and pepper, like graying black is what I'm going to do. It won't really contrast with his armor, but I think that's fine. You know what I'm going to try and do? I'm going to try and basically do a gray-black glaze on the side of his head to mimic the sort of like half-grown hairs, right? The sort of region of his head where his hair would grow. Maybe that's a little too thin. Yeah, maybe a little bit thicker than that. Bit too much of a wash consistency there. What do we think of that? So just doing the regular sort of bare head. I actually quite like that. Alright, then once that dries, we'll hit it with a wash. In the meantime, I should probably get started on the actual bases, because those will take a while. Or I can do some edge highlighting, which... that's probably going to be the longest part of the stream. It's just going to be edge highlighting, the armor. So might as well start now on a model per model basis. Sorry if I'm a little bit less interactive for specifically this part, just because it is something that requires, like, genuine, like, sort of focus. Okay, thanks. I asked around here. People only play others and know how to play, and they play in teams. I will look at the yeah. Let me give you a link. I know that that's what a lot of people use now to get started. He's quite big in the actual like Warhammer 40,000 tabletop scene. So it seems like you're trying to get started with the tabletop thing, but have you done any of the hobby stuff? Are you like familiar with it? Do you have like an army you'd like to play or any of that? I don't like quite how thick that came out. Yeah, this might be a bit of a quiet streaming section. Sorry about that, guys. I like Dark Angels models and some Templar models. Dark Angels were originally going to be my first army, but I eventually transitioned over to Black Templars. Sorry, I see message from my peripheral vision, but for this, I genuinely cannot look away. Question. I want to do scorch marks on terrain. Black through an airbrush or sponge. I think you could do both. I think airbrush will be harder. I would personally do a sponge or like a soft bristle makeup brush. I think it depends on the type of surface. I assume you mean terrain. Terrain, depending on... You have like pretty detailed terrain. I feel like sponging is probably the way to go. Yeah, I think there's like a little bit of extra control you could get. I would... My skill level with an airbrush, I would personally be afraid. I would be afraid to mess stuff up. I feel like something a little bit more tactile is what I would do. I posted the stuff I painted. I like them, but they don't look like the models other people have or the box art. Nice. Ah, sick. Very nice. You have a big army, okay. Yeah, if you want to get a tabletop, like I am sure there's gonna be a lot of people who would be very happy to play against this. I actually recognize you're using a few Black Templars malls mixed in here. That looks great. Yeah, I think your army looks fantastic, man. Scorch the tops, I see. Like an airstrike or something? Oh, okay, yeah. I see. Is that from glue? There's like a weird texture on his arm here. I don't really understand what that's about. I should have rated the stream, but I was too tired and forgot. Oh man. Again, I really hope you did not end your stream on my behalf. But Jesus Christ, you gave me such like a overload of nostalgia when you. Because I was thinking back to my brother showing me that video. I don't even know how old I was. I was like a literal child, like probably 4 or 5 the first time I watched that. I think we just sat down and watched the whole series of the ninja videos. I genuinely forgot about those until you brought it up. No, I legit overheated and got tired. It's like 90. Yeah, fair. How to be gangsta? That might be a bit too hot for TV. That might be a little bit if Happy Ninja you were afraid was gonna get you banned. I don't know if I'd air that one. Alright. So little quick comparison on what that last step we were just doing did to the armor. You can see that it really like builds up the contrast. I like to build up a little bit of texture also. I like to make it look a little bit more worn weathered. You could do a more sort of box art style clean look, but I don't really like that for Templars. I like to make them look like they've seen some shit. Oh god. See, now Now I have to remind myself to watch all those after I end stream. I'm trying to remember what the channel name was. It was like Niga Higa, right? Right? Was that the guy? Yeah, it was. Oh, he's huge now. What the hell? He did a COVID video. I don't know what the hell that's about. Anyway. Alright. That looks dry. We're gonna wash the face. Also, if anyone is unfamiliar, make sure to check out I Got No Username. He does great variety gaming streams, and he has some even better music on his channel, so I would definitely check him out. I am doing the wash on the hair also. I'm hoping that it maybe gives it some life and makes it look a little bit different than the black on the armor. All right. Good night. Thank you for the fun stream. Anytime, Piotr. Glad to have you in the Discord. I am super interested. Hope you can find someone to teach you the ropes in your area. Yeah, see, this is kind of the issue with things like this, right? Because kind of does require my full concentration, so hard to think of topics to talk about. It is kind of pivotal to the actual final result of the mini, though. I can't really skip it. Black is one of those colors that when you're painting, it's really easy to just slap down, maybe like dry brush it to actually get to look really good. It actually does take quite a bit of effort, though. Again, that's basically everything, but I think it is particularly drastic with these sort of large panels of black. Oh, I really fucked it there. That's alright, good enough. I hope everyone's having a good Saturday. I was supposed to go to a barbecue. My cousin, her kids, a bunch of other people were gonna be there, but I sort of just slept for 14 hours this morning. Got what I think was the flu, and just kind of wasted away in bed. And decided not to go because I don't want to get any of the kids sick. So now I basically just wasted my whole day, but I feel great now, so figured I may as well stream. They did drop off some of the steaks they made, though. They were pretty good. At least you got some steak. Exactly. No show on the barbecue. Still got steak. I mean, it's one of those things where you feel sick, but well, I think it was the flu. It was something like that, but I basically just want to sleep the whole day. So it's not like you're suffering at work or whatever. You're just going to a bed. You're waking up every now and again, but you're not really experiencing the symptoms. And you wake up and you're basically fine, so. It's more so my inner sort of workaholic that's screaming at me to do something, anything that's productive if I'm missing out on time with family. I don't know how productive painting little plastic toys is, but it feels like it. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. Shit like that, I don't know. I'm lucky to have grown up in a very like I never had to, besides my very old relative, even that was like more psychological. No one has like major physical ailments. So like now I'm even thinking like with my parents, right? If I'm a workaholic, they're like clinically insane. Like I can never imagine them retiring. But it's like what if they ever get like sick like that, where they need to, take it easy. I don't know if they'll even be able to. I never even had like a major surgery. Like I've never had to be. I am very lucky in that way. So you have my condolences. That must be rough, man. I'm very used to it, but also I was 13. Damn. How many people? Sorry, sometimes people are just built different, built wrong. My mom had she had a major surgery while I was in high school, and like I I wasn't doing any extracurriculars like during that season. So even though like through that whole period, I could literally come home and I could actually partway through it was even COVID, so I had time to spare. I was like helping her with stuff. I was doing cooking. I was doing cleaning. I was taking care of all the stuff she would normally do, right? But like even though she had to like lay down, take it easy, she would like constantly move around, and there were a couple of points where it really hindered her recovery. Like I think some people, like if they are in like a veteran state, they just can't cope with it. Which on one hand, like, we're all very fortunate and lucky, I guess, in my household not deal with it, but when that time comes, we just go mental. Like, she found some way to like get up the stairs like with crutches without any like assistance the first week, and then like turn out from a physical therapist. Oh yeah, that's not good at all. That's hindering your recovery. But no, because she wants to be mobile. She wants to like walk around the house after having a ACL surgery. Like, whatever. Anyway, that's all I'll say. I had a sick day today, and this stream is my coping mechanism for that. So I could feel like I did something. I always love the way this like little non-metallic metal thing I do, or by brushing the by brushing the along the vents looks. I don't know. Also, I realized this is the guy I meant to fix up last time. I never did. Where I overspilled onto the metallic, overspilled metallic onto the black. So let me do that real quick. Crazy lady. It was hot today. The weather was actually quite nice over here. But yeah, I don't know, this summer's been crazy. We've had so much rain. So much rain, so much humidity. By us. Like the entire northeast area has like the humidity of like Florida or something. It's genuinely horrible. But yeah, today by comparison to the rest of the summer is kind of great. Once I get this guy finished, I'm gonna take a quick peek on the vote. Because there's like still a lot of small stuff I have to do. So this may be a pretty long stream. Because I do want these guys done. Because without these guys done... Oh god. Alright, do you guys want like a look into my demented mind? I have a... basically like a small journal I keep in my notes app every single day when I wake up. And there's like almost like a point system I have for myself of things I need to do between like work and like other commitments. And if I don't do enough stuff, I just force myself to do more, right? I will like not go to bed until I do a prerequisite amount of things in that day. Which is like my way of like keeping myself, I guess, productive. So without finishing these, I will have not met my requirement. I don't know, some like psychiatrist will tell me it's not healthy, but it feels like it keeps me relatively in a relatively good spot. I think also in periods of either like self-employment or like irregular employment, it's really good to have something like that to make sure you have a drive to do like not to get too complacent, even if like money's good. To always make sure you're like working ahead. Because obviously when I'm doing plumbing or when I was doing my my research, that was less of a concern. My fridge is making a weird droning noise. I hope that's not picking up. It's been acting up for a while now, and we decided we're not going to do it until we move out. Which might not be for a while, but we'll probably just use it till it goes. Hopefully that's not compromising the stream, but we will see. That's getting pretty damn loud now. Can anyone hear that? If can someone just, if you can hear like a whirring pump in the background, let me know. Because I can deal with it. I just don't want that to mess with people in the audience. No. Okay, perfect, perfect. Alright, good. I say as I throw my brush to the floor. Alright, edge highlighting done on 3 of the Templars. Let's see if, what this looking like. Ooh, wow, only a single vote so far? Guys, there is a pinned link, or sorry, like a pinned comment with a straw poll. You can click on that and vote on what I will paint next. You know what? Also, let me just do something really quickly that I genuinely completely forgot about. Hold on, I'm sorry. There we go. Since Face always tells me to let him know when he's or when I'm streaming, figured I'd post the link there. Chugged a whole cold mug of coffee. Hopefully that'll do something with me up, because I'm feeling sloth creep into my bones. Hey, if the current vote holds, we will be painting these girls next time. which will be fun, because I have a scheme that I think would look good, but we will have to test that out. And it's probably going to be some airbrush work, which is nice, because I always mean to use my airbrush more. I never do. Even though I've had it for like a year now. Well, I guess not quite. I got it for Christmas. So yeah, not quite a year. What's the vote? I vote chaos. Well, do it through the straw poll so I know. If you don't through there, okay, you did. You did, okay, cool. For the Chaos Space Marines, I'll probably be doing Havocs. Because I converted quite a few Havocs from, Horus Heresy bodies, and then some extra heavy weapons I had laying around. I don't think they're necessarily the best looking models, but they'll do. Alright, then sounds like we might be getting chaos. That also might be a bit of a quicker project, which could be nice, getting it done in like 2 or so streams. But we'll see how much trim there is. I honestly forget what those balls look like, because I haven't... I converted them so long ago. I found a couple. Yeah, I got like this guy for the champion, and I got this guy which has less trim than normal because he just has one of the Mark 6 bodies. I say that, and as I'm putting them away, literally knock his arm off. Alright. Whatever. We'll see if we do that next stream. Alright, back to this guy. Oh man, we're already an hour into this. Yeah, edge highlighting takes a while, huh? Yeah, so like the Tormentors and Fractors look like Mark 6, but like everyone would have Mark 6. If you mean like do they okay. If I understand your question correctly, I Infractors and Incursors look like they have a variant of Mark 6. But every Space Marine chapter, Chaos and otherwise, or Warband, I guess, would also have Mark 6. So yes. Yeah, Emperor's Children in general, if I'm being honest, now that it's been, what, like a year or two? More like, I think it's like a year. They're all plain. Like, for compared to what they could be, like, I get, World Eaters are World Eaters, right? Corn Berserker is, it's a good template. You don't mess with that too much. But, like, Death Guard looks so cool. Like, everything they do with them. Whereas, I don't know, Emperor's Children, they should be one of my favorites conceptually, and I'm not really feeling them too much. I just paint, homie. Well, yeah, like, but even just, I think visually, Tormentors and Fractors look pretty boring. Like, because you could go so weird with, like, Slaanesh Marines, right? You can go so weird. And they didn't really do too much. Like, Fall's Blades are cool, Tormentors and Fractors are kind of vanilla, and then Noise Marines are cool, right? But I've seen a Noise Marine, like, before. I feel like with the new stuff, they didn't really do too much. And does it help that, like, in the game, they're, like, boring also. Like, they took away combat drugs, they just have, like, a kind of boring army rule also. I don't know. Hello, Malin friends. How are you doing, Blood for a Blood God? The noise can carriers, the noise can carries the Noise Marine model. I like the Lord Cacophonist. But I don't know, I like Slaanesh. I don't like, the Noise Marine stuff as much. I would like, weird, messed up Slaanesh Marines, right? Like, I always think of the one art where the guy has, like, insect eyes and like a siren face, and like one half of his chest has like a weird BDSM breast, the other is like battle plate. Drugs. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like they maybe toned Slaanesh down a little bit in the recent years. I feel like they could have gone weird. Yeah, that art. That's what I want for my Noise Marines. All about the nails. Yeah, like, I will never shit on Corn Berserkers, because Corn Berserkers are sick. Just conceptually, right? Like, you don't need to do anything special with a Corn unit. Because Corn itself is just badass enough. But I feel like they dropped the ball. KS says that head is in the kit, but I don't think it's the exact one. No, it's not. There is like a siren face one, but like, they could have gone weirder. I was hoping for like an 8 or a 9. Like, GW wants to stay somewhat kid-friendly. I get that, so they're not going to give us a full 10. But like, I feel like an 8 would have been good. And we got a 3, basically. Is how I feel about that. In terms of, like, weird, messed up Hellraiser, like, bullshit, right? But I don't know, like, the Healings of Slaanesh and AOS have some... There's, like, the one demon that's, like, she's opened a man's back and she's putting the tendons, like a lyre. Like, where's that stuff for Noise Marines? Or for Emperor's Children, right? Like, that's the tier of stuff I want for Slaanesh. That model's sick? Yeah, I know. There's the newer AOS Slaanesh demons, like the... I think they're like... I don't know if they are in AOS, but I'd probably use them as like Chaos Spawn. In 40k or in Old World, so... But they're also like... Because they're like kind of like fat and grotesque, which I think is kind of unique for a Slaanesh model. And they also look great. And then I look at like Tormentors and Fractors and Flawless Blades, I'm like... Whatever. Like, the Noise Beams are fine, right? They do what Noise Beams should do. It's like a Corn Berserker, right? I'm not gonna complain, because that's the thing. That's the core of it. But like, compared to how much personality a Plague Marine has, they compared Tormentor and Fractor, who just prints a bunch of Slaanesh proxies, boobs, lots of boobs. Yeah. I'm probably gonna print a bunch of the old... Oh god. There's Juan Diaz and there's Jose Diaz. One is a GW modeler, the other is a baseball player, and I always get the two confused. But I think it's Jose Diaz. He did a bunch of Space Marines, but also did the Demonet sculpts from the 2000s. And I want his Demonets. Those are probably the ones I'm gonna print. If I do need some Demonets. Because those are excellent models. I wonder, YouTube would probably not like me paying models with boobs on them, right? That would probably get me in trouble. Is that correct? Or I don't know, it's artistic, right? It's like Renaissance art. I don't know if YouTube's gonna take that excuse, but that might have to be an off-stream sort of project. I hope everyone's having a good night. Are you working on anything? Blood for the Blood God? Also, Warden, if you're still here, have you just not been streaming? Because I have, notifications for you, but I feel like I haven't caught one of your streams in a while. I know, yeah, you've been having issues, but hopefully either YouTube's been hiding them from me, but if not, I hope you're back to 100% soon. My neck got pinched like 3 days ago. Working on terrain. I should be back tomorrow. Glad to hear it, man. Honestly, tomorrow I might be streaming also, but I'm not really too concerned with overlap. Obviously, if you're live when I'm done or whatever, I'll give you a shout out. That one will also probably be pretty late in the day. I know at least during the weekdays you do earlier, so we'll see. What do you think about the Black Warden? Looks good. I assume that's supposed to be Mal. Mal, my phone hates your name. Yeah. The full one, Maladus, always gets auto-corrupted by people to Malardis. So. I'm used to it. You're okay. Oh, fuck. I went thick with that edge highlight, huh? Actually, it doesn't even look too bad. Now that I wiped most of it off. My Beastman longform, or not Beastman, but the campaign video ended up actually getting some traction, probably like later on, which is nice. I don't know. Looking at the retention, I wish I made that 2 vids, because the first half would just be like brainstorming and like going over my ideas for the battle, and the second half is the battle itself. And a majority of viewers did not watch the actual battle report, which I think is kind of, that's the part I want people to watch, basically. So hopefully part 2 makes a bit of a rebound in that, I don't want to put that out quite yet. What I want to do, I'm just trying to sort of buy myself time to actually get the armies painted, because I played part 2 afterwards, which is also going to be with unpainted Empire minis. So what I'm trying to do is get out a video to put it in between the 2 episodes with my Demon Prince. Get that done. Then for early September, have Drakvald Part 2 ready. And then finally in some point in September, I'll probably hopefully have some more Empire guys painted, and we'll start doing more games of that with my friend. Autocorrect roasting you like a elementary kid is wild. What can I say? I'm an easy target. Everyone's picking on me. Little old me. Anyway, I am really quite happy with these guys. I don't know. Specifically the white. Alright, now we got all those guys finished up. We will highlight up the face. We'll do the eyes. And we'll hopefully have a decent looking... I almost have metallics on my palette like a absolute dunce. This isn't the paint I want either. And go in with some of this pale flesh color. I've been getting pretty good at, like, speed painting faces. Like, quite a while ago I got good at painting, like, good faces that, you know, ones that take a lot of back and forth work. But with, my Empire units, because all the guys have, you know, I don't have any helmets or anything, so I have to get good at making faces that look good and only using a few layers of paint. It really is just base coat, wash, highlight, but it's all about just positioning and, like, layering the paint well. Some good technique and you can get a really nice looking face in just a couple brush strokes. Alright, let's hold our breath here. I'm gonna have to do this off camera because I'm gonna go and try to do his eyes now. Alright. Those are the whites of his eyes. Now I'm gonna go do the pupils. I need to water down this black a little bit more. It's barely coming off the brush. Alright, there we go. And then just highlighting up his hair very quick. Oh, fuck. That's not good. Alright. Alright, that does not look too bad at all, IMO. There we got the these guys. I think what we'll do next is... Oh, you know what? I caught something yesterday and never corrected it. I forgot to do one of these guys' Aquillas. So whenever I'm really lazy, I'll literally use my thumbnail as a palette if I don't want to get a dry palette out. I'll literally dab some paint on there and then just use that as a repository while I figure this out. Because I do like a two-toned Aquila with the sort of skull and the top of the wings in gold and the rest of the feathers in a silver. Alright. Now what we're going to do is we're going to start on the basic. That's literally pro moves. Where you talk about being lazy, just extremely awesome. If there's ever, like, a small area, and I know I won't need to paint for anything else, it is a waste of paint, because then you just wipe it off. If I know I'm just gonna have to paint, like... It's usually if I miss something, right? Alright. For the base, I'm gonna want some orange. And I'm gonna want some brown. And I'm gonna vortex these. Sometimes you might see the camera go a little bit shaky. That's because I have a... You also probably hear it, right? Wait, hold on. Surprisingly, it doesn't pick up as much on the... as much as I don't think. But I have a stand mixer that I use to agitate my paints. Not a stand mixer, whatever. One of these fellas. Oh, you can't... Bar doesn't quite reach. Anyway, believe me, there's something there to mix paints. I promise. Alright. There we go. That's nice. It comes through on the audio, like, sort of defocuses the camera. Now I'm just gonna look for a random old brush. I guess I don't have one. Huh. I'll use this. Yes, a vortex. It is quite useful, especially as I'm in the hobby longer, my paints physically start to break down to re-agitate them. Yeah, I don't have like a great out of the bottle terracotta like Martian earth color, so I have this like super, bright orange that I then just mix with some browns. Yeah, I have a bunch of the very, very old army painters that have, like, that weird old gel medium they used to use before they wisened up. And, those could sometimes be hard to mix. I used to steal gravel from my old job for basing, but the bigger ones made it very heavy. There's also, like, very coarse gravel, so it was, like, half the size of Space Marine, but for like my stand bases. The most extreme example I could probably... he's probably up here. No, he's not. What the hell? Oh wait, yes he is. This was probably one of the first models I was like super happy with. Back... Oh, he's a bit dusty though. However, back at the start of 8th edition, and he's just done 3 pieces of like big construction gravel. He's hefty. I like to water down the sort of base paint, and let it sort of flow into the cracks, like like, you know, dust and earth getting deposited in there. Like, he was in a dry environment. I still have a bunch of those rocks that I took. I just took a whole big... It was a Ziploc bag. I think I had, like, fruit in there. And, like, during my lunch break, I just got out of my van, picked up a whole bag of gravel when the, when the guys weren't looking. Yeah, they're a little oversized. They're a little jumbo size, but... Nice. If you want me to look at them at the end of the stream, there is a post in the mini review channel. And that goes for everyone. If you're working on something, either along with the stream or just in general, I'll probably announce it right before we do it, but there will be a mini review section at the very end of the stream. Which I think is... I think we'll probably get streamed for quite a bit longer, guys, but, you know. Just be aware, I will show those on stream. Those will be, like... They'll be out there. They'll be live on broadcast, so... Obviously, won't be too critical or anything. It won't be like... It won't be like a proper critique. It's just a chance to see what everyone's working on. I'll have a look in just one moment, Warden. Give me 2 seconds to finish up this guy's base. And I'll have a look. One little tip, like, if you... Let's say for this application, I have a mix of paint on my palette. If I want it to be weather for an application like this, but I don't want to wet down the whole thing because I still have more guys to paint, this is going to seem like a very obvious thing, but if you pre-wet your brush, the two, I guess, levels of dilution are going to mix onto your brush. Like, you know, let's say I wash out my brush, it's now waterlogged. If I dip it in the paint for only a few seconds, the paint's gonna go on the brush and it's gonna create like a very dilute mixture in my brush, right? That can sometimes be good, sometimes be bad, but that is one thing I don't see people talking about when they talk about paint dilution, is the fact that, you know, depending on what kind of brush is contacting the surface, depends on a rainy, muddy planet. I'm actually imagining they're more like on a sort of dry, dusty planet. Sort of like, you know, like any heavy machinery. It looks a little strong now. Once it gets dilute, it sort of gives the or sorry, not once it gets dilute. Once it dries fully, I feel like it really does look like when you have heavy machinery in arid like site, and then it all collects in the recesses. Yeah, I mean, it helps ground them. Also gives some more visual interest. Because you have the somewhat, like, cool tone armor with the sort of, like, very warm, light-colored base. It helps sort of blend the two elements of visual contrast. Alright. Oh yeah, I was supposed to look at Warden stuff. Where was it? Am I blind? Oh, yeah, right here. Oh, yes, it was a slightly older message. Okay. Oh, is that what you put the heads of the Demon Prince on? I also love your Demon Prince, man. I know it's like an older model, but still. Looks great. I'm trying to look for what other rocks there are. Oh, are these actual rocks on the Cadian? They look great. They actually have a really nice texture to them, huh? Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Good shit, Warden. On the guard, Lictor, and Prime with the whip. Oh, okay. I like the detail of them having a very similar base. So, is that the color of the rocks out of the package, or did you prime and paint those? Just for my own curiosity. On this guy's base, I got a little Kroot skull. I don't know how easy. It's really not pick up on. Wait, no, I don't. I'm a liar on this guy. I'm like actually blind. Here I have just a chunk of rubble. Out of the package, nice. Playlist is ridiculously good. I did not make it. I literally just looked up like 80s lo-fi background music. Royalty free, no copyright. I think is my exact search term there. I have a few on rotation, but this is one of my favorites. It's a good playlist. Let me steal. I have a bad habit of like forgetting to do things I say I'm gonna do while streaming, so shoot me a DM and like remind me, because otherwise I will forget to send to you. I also want to touch up the red. That's another detail I need to work on. Oh shit. Got a bunch of overspill onto the 2i up on the leg there. Yeah, I'm trying to make sure that the effect is strongest in like the joints. It's, quote, literally one of the reasons I decided to make music. I was sick of getting copyright struck. That that actually kind of adds up. even this is all advertised as like royalty-free shit. They always, I always have these like earnings like warnings. Obviously, I don't make money on these live streams, but like if I wanted to, I couldn't, even though it's advertised as royalty-free, which is like some bullshit, but whatever. Like at that point, I'll play like actual music because if this shit's getting copyrighted, might as well. I'll be back, still watching, but I have to look for a while. I mean, you do you. Don't have to justify your participation to me, man. It's another thing with YouTube Shorts. When you like post something on that, there's like an audio library and like everything's on there. And they just let you use that. Which I guess because like TikTok originally was from like a music like sharing app, right? So it's like in the DNA of short form content to just steal everyone's music, but like why can you get away with posting music on short form but not long form? Like, what the hell's up with that? I have no clue how the legality would be different other than the big music brands are fine with one but not the other. I don't know. There's some weird bullshit going on with that one. At some point, we'll all be like the Chinese and just ignore copyright. Accept that as just a meme that needs to die. Ah, finally. So this guy's finally dry, so here's sort of an example of what that might look like. This guy's way less orange than the rest. Might go in and change that. Alright. More orange. There we go. All right, let's do this one. Load up a new playlist since that one was over. Actually, hold up just 1 second. All right, I'm back. Let me just do another quick coat of the ground texture because I am doing this over black, so it's not gonna have the best coverage. Do I read the Warhammer books? Yeah, I used to a lot. So in general, I like reading, right? I loved them when I worked construction because they were like, there's this great short story. It's called The Rounding Error. I don't know if I'm familiar with that. Actually. Huh. Damn, alright, I'm gonna have to look it up. I used to read a lot of the Warhammer books back when I worked construction. Now, that I like... So think about those books. They're not like the most intense, like super complicated reads. So they're nice to do, to like flip through when you have like a couple minutes. And you're just like staying there not doing much. I don't know if it's canon. It's an audiobook on YouTube. You know what? I think there's a lot of fan-made stuff too, which is really good. I think I might know what you're talking about, and I believe it is fan-made, yeah. Which is honestly sick that exists. For the official stuff, though, I don't read those as much now. Because when I do have time to read, it's usually in like a more isolated environment. It's more like, I'll sit down and I'll read, you know, for an hour through the night, and I want something a little bit more substantial. So, like, I've been reading, next to me I have In the Shadow of the Sword, which is a pretty good history book on sort of, like, early Islamic Caliphate and, like, its connection to Persia and the Roman Empire. And then for fiction, I've been rereading The Black Company by Glenn Cook. So... I mean, I feel like a lot of people at some point were construction, right? For me, it was my father, but I mean, it's like good money, right? When you're young and you don't have anything else to do. I'm sure at some point most guys will turn to construction for money. I did plumbing on like big commercial residential stuff. I still like to, you know, it's always a nice fallback plan. Like whenever your other projects aren't working out, it's nice to have like a skill and trade that you know, and that it's like always worth something. You can always you know use that to find. You know, it's not gonna be the nicest job. It's gonna be manual labor, but it's gonna be money that's coming in. It's nice to have something like that. I think in life generally. To have like, you know, one of the trades that you can ply. I used to read those light novels every day on watch. I had to be on watch for 12 hours, so I have inordinate depth of knowledge on the random Japanese light novels that will never be helpful. Yeah, that was me with like Warhammer stuff, where it was just sort of like light reading. I know people love those books, and they're fun. but they're like pulpy. They're not like, I don't know. They're, in some ways they are kind of slop, right? It's a cool setting, and there are some really good books in there, but like the average Warhammer book is not super super worthwhile in terms of fiction. It's not gonna be like some life-changing thing. At least for me, that's how I engage with it. Maybe it is that for others, but totally pulp. It's like you're reading it, it's like, oh, this is fast food, but it's a book. Yeah, which is like when it's like 100 degrees out and it's summer and I have to be on the roof somewhere filling up my storm drains to like prepare for a test, and it's like all I have is this little trickle of water from the water truck, and I have to be up there for like 2 hours until I get a call that something's leaking. Yeah, I don't want something that I have to like really sit and ruminate on, you know. What are the broader implications? What are the themes at play here? No, I want something that I can look at, and the words are simple enough and the plot's simple enough that the hours just kind of waste away. It's still probably better than fucking scrolling on Instagram or whatever, which I feel like on construction sites now it's kind of crazy. Everyone just on fucking reels the whole day. I mean, not everyone, but like, I don't know, that kind of short form content, like, oh, boss isn't watching, let me just hit a quick scroll, and it just turns into them staring at their phone for 2 hours, getting nothing done. I don't know, I sound like an old man now. It's whatever. Yeah, I never really got into light novels or anything. I'm not even a huge like anime head or manga or whatever. Like, I'm very very intro level. Like, I read Berserk, and that's the one I like, and I like Evangelion. I have this video I've been saying on for a while. The theme is the 2 types of gamers. I could probably deduce what you're trying to get at from that title. Alright. All those bases dry, I'm gonna actually ends video of playing Final Fantasy X. Wait. And almost getting emotional, followed by literally teabagging someone and laughing too hard. Oh man. I have such a weird relationship with Final Fantasy X. Final Fantasy X was a game I used to play religiously on the weekends at my cousin's house, because we only had a PS1, so we would go over to my cousins, who sort of like lived in ostensibly the middle of nowhere, right? But they had like a nice big house just in the woods, and we'd go outside and play, and every night, if no one else was using the PlayStation, I would stay up for as long as I could, trying to play through that game. So I remember certain parts vividly, but it was one of those things where I like played it in like bursts. I didn't have like ready access to it. And for whatever reason, I've just never found a time to go back as an adult and play through it, which I really should. I mean, yeah, that's... It's sort of like an obvious mid-wit take when you put it like that, but yeah. Oh, that and what's the name of the Dragon Ball Z fighting game for PS2? Uh, Budokai 2? Is that right? I distinctly remember knowing nothing but playing as Goku, and the only thing I knew how to do was the Kami Kamiha. But pretty that was enough because I would always beat like my one cousin was he was quite a bit older than me, and I'd always beat him with that. And he got really pissed off one time. I remember him punching me so hard it left like a bruise for a week, and I had to lie to my mom about it. I think I was like literally like 5 years old, and he just fucking laid into me at one point because I was just talking bad shit while beating him. I don't know. What I do need to do is I need to find the old PS2 because I've never owned one, but I feel like that console has so many good games. I'll let you in on a secret. Sometimes I act crazier on stream than I actually am because I'm trying to make people laugh. But then when it comes to Final Fantasy X, nah, that was all real. See, I only can typically watch the streams for like an hour or two because if I watch it for any longer, my my sleep schedule will get real messed up. But the only time I've ever watched you play... No, it wasn't even X. It was X2. So no, I've never seen you play X, so I can't speak on that. But I feel like you do have to play stuff up on stream. You need to be a bit of a performer. I used to make video game stuff. I used to like try and be outwardly comedic. And I would do stuff like that too, but I don't think I've found my voice with this channel yet. I don't really know what I want to do for these streams other than just paint. I feel like this shit takes enough focus that I kind of don't have time to be entertaining. I have to let the work speak for itself, so to say. I mean, yeah. Nah, we're... I mean, at my level, I'm definitely not making any money. I'm actively losing money on this venture, so yeah, obviously it's all just for fun. I don't know. But you do good shit, man. Keep up the good work. I still can't believe I forgot about Nigahiga. I'm literally probably gonna stay up and watch all that guy's stuff. Oh, fuck no. Well, for me, it's like I probably was like the last time I even thought about those videos, I was single digit aged. Like I went through many years just not having those in my conscious at all. So you really spark something. But the craziest is you go back and you see those guys like didn't stop making stuff. Like oh, who was it? Oh, the Angry Video Game Nerd. I assumed he stopped making like videos back in like 2010, but then like a year ago I see he was like he just put up videos for a whole stint. I guess like diminishing viewer base, but still. That's like the wild thing. It's so weird going at your or looking at your subscriptions and going, "Oh my god, you've almost stopped." Oh, they've all. What does that mean? They've almost stopped. Oh wait. Oh, sorry. I'm actually a sped. I see. I Yeah, I don't know. I guess I don't follow enough people readily on YouTube over like long periods of time. So I'm also like pretty young, so I'm trying to think. Like my early YouTube stuff was like SpongeBob YouTube poops. It was if you remember the Dudesons, which was like Jackass for like it was like Finnish Jackass, and then it was oh there was a series I loved which was like should I microwave this or something? Is it a good idea to microwave this? Where a guy just stuck shit in a microwave, so I was just watching some bullshit at the time. Protect your nuts. Yeah. Because nobody likes fried nuts. Oh, roasted nuts. My bad. A fake fan. I don't know. You're probably right. You probably got your finger on the pulse of this stuff. Roasted sounds better, so we'll go with that. It's also just kind of crazy, just the fundamental change in what was big on YouTube. Like, how genuinely organic and kind of weird the shit that was going on then was. Compared to quite how, like, corporate and sanitized it is. Because it's like a night and day difference. In a lot of ways, I think YouTube has completely bastardized its whole business model of just trying to put people out there. The vibes are so different. Well, yeah, but it's not even like people making stuff. Like all the big channels seem to be like basically small media conglomerates, right? It's people. Well, I guess there are some like pretty big guys that are still individuals, but I don't know. It's not people like doing like weird creative stuff typically. I need to find like either I just need to get off YouTube completely in terms of my own personal watching, or I need to find better stuff to watch. Because I used to like a lot of those long-form sort of video essay style things back when I was in college. But I feel like a lot of them are just so brainless and don't have like any actual opinions and don't really have a real point. Like, you'll watch a video essay on a game, like on an old game you like. Okay, you know, let me look through this, and they just recap the plot line and don't have anything to say, and just like, why are you making this, bro? I would just, I don't know. I think we're genuinely almost done with this. Because I have to finish the bases. And I've got the highlight up to gold. And I think they're ready. Let me see what the votes are like. I think Chaos have it, right? See, now I'm in a weird mood. I can't tell if it's because of the flu medication or because of reminiscing on old YouTube shit. Alright, let's grab some gray for the rocks. Actually, let me even... Really? Probably need a darker gray. Probably the old YouTube shit. Sometimes remembering how YouTube used to be makes me a bit down. Yeah, I don't know, it's just like the whole... We had a really good run of it with the internet, but I feel like it's been so shit for so long now that's almost pointless of, like, comparing and contrasting. Like, that shit's gone and it'll probably never come back, is the sad truth. And the honest truth is, a lot of people just prefer it this way. A lot of people like the way things currently are. So... not like you're gonna be able to elicit change. I don't know. See, now this is like a major down there beat. This is worse than your stream. Never surrender, just do your individual best. I mean, yeah, of course. I'm normally a weirdly optimistic person, I swear. Alright. And I'll just pick out any of the skulls or... Did I miss anything on here? I feel like I put more skulls in the base, but... Oh, yep, I definitely did. Looks a bit bright now, but the wash is going to bring everything back down. Alright, really quickly, just going to highlight up this goal. And I think that just leaves the bases. So I'm hoping maybe honestly only like another hour. I wonder if there is phosphorus paint that you can use. Phosphorus paint? Imagine how sick it would be to make visors glow in the dark. I bet there is. I mean, it's not like it needs to be a specific kind of paint either. Like, obviously, like, texture and medium matter, but you can get some like glow in the dark powder or whatever. I bet you're onto something there. I think I already know what I'm gonna do as soon as I end stream. I'm gonna load up all the Nigahiga videos on my TV. I'm gonna watch them while I try and fix whatever the hell's going off my refrigerator, because that pump has just been running non-stop. That's what I forgot to do. Let me grab some pink. Bro, I lit that candle. Not the fluorescent paint. Where's my normal pink? Fuck, now it's too pink. So I'm just gonna take some water, I'm gonna water that down. Alright, good enough. Kind of looks like ass, but whatever. I was painting that little candle he's got in his reliquary there. Pretty happy with the face. For how a bit torn. The Japanese VTuber is doing a stream soon. Based. I mean, go ahead. I'm finishing up here. But it's about a book, like a book club thing, and there's no way in hell I'm going to understand the stream at all. What book is it? I also need to get into more, like, Japanese lit. What's the one book I got recommended to you recently? The, something about cat? I don't even fucking know. Not like, manga anime stuff, but, like, books. Because I honestly have not read anything from Japanese authors. I know they have some pretty cerebral stuff. I feel like it's a really interesting microcosm of what book is it? If I tell you, you're going to understand why I'm okay. I mean, is it really that strange? Fuck is texting me? Conversation Room, Yanazawa, Honobu Yanazawa. Never heard of it. So yeah, I have no idea. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to do a mini review also. So I guess that's gonna make the stream longer. Whatever. Don't have work tomorrow anyway. I'm gonna go to church tomorrow and talk to white women who are gonna teach me how to be Ocarina of Time. Yeah, I could definitely see some cherry blossoms along the Maguro River and Complicity, huh? Tokyo Metropolitan Central Library and reference services Tokeji, I think is how you say that, temple, and dismantled asylum gleaning, and the laws of the earth Zenshoin. It's... okay. I don't know what the fuck they're trying to get at, but alright. It's a lot of place names, I guess. I know I was rewatching, speaking of like YouTubers that were good, was there's this guy Vagrant Holiday, who I think like 2018 made like genuinely kind of unique and interesting travel videos. I was watching the one where he was in Japan. I guess his whole shtick was he was like basically literally a vagrant, a hobo that would stay in or he would live as a hobo going to other countries. It was like a really unique I guess perspective. It was really funny because he went to like Paris and he just gets like mugged and attacked. And he goes to like Tokyo and he's just like fine. Rain almost done. Post a mini review. We'll review at the end. Yeah, he made like videos for a few months there, and then he just never posted again. And it's super, I don't know. It's one of those things, right? It's like a genuinely cool, unique channel, and after a while, he just gets filtered away. Gotta redo some golds and finish up the brass, but only like 2 things left. Is he in jail? What the fuck did they get him on? Vagrancy laws? I don't know what I'm guessing. Oh. Yeah, maybe. I guess if you're posting yourself breaking laws, I'm sure that would end up good for you. Yeah. That would kind of add up. Oh, Jesus Christ. Let me not punch the camera. Alright. I do have a few things I need to do on these guys. The issue is they're done, besides the fact that I need to wait for the wash to dry before I finish the base. So what I might do is I think we might close submissions for mini review, and we'll do a mini review now. I think that's probably our plan. And then we'll get back to it at the very end of this stream. Hopefully finish these guys up for real. Okay, so... Alright, we just got 2. I assume no one else is going to be posting, so I will lock this down. If you want, I can post all those minis again in mini review. I think it's fine. I think it's alright. Okay. Okay, so to start off, we got some Tyranids from Perkysaurus. I really like he's going for like a super fluorescent, like almost like psychedelic scheme. It's just the bases, the skull bases. I assume those are some sort of like printed resin thing. But yeah, just like super vibrant poppy colors. We got... Is that Venomthrope? Or is that like a conversion? Is that the new Ravener? Looks like the old Ravener body with like a... Yeah, I don't think it's an official model. That's cool. And we got Tervigon. I think 2 Tervigons, right? I don't know. Actually, let me bring up chat. Maybe Warden can help me with this one, because I don't actually recognize it. Anyway. That's from Perkysaurus, and then from Warden, we got this really nice terrain set. We got sort of this like light gray off-white color. It looks like this panel might not be done, but this one definitely is. So some super nice smooth shading here. I assume this is probably a lot of makeup sponges. We got this really nice stark black and white AdMech. We got really just a lot of small attention to detail, which I think really, really helps things out. Were there any washes, or was it all just working from a dark base coat and highlighting up with sponges, Warden? It looks like you haven't done your scorch marks yet, but I definitely see, like, yeah, you know, these ruined buildings, that would make sense to darken them up. I think just a bit of sponging there with some black or dark gray would work nicely. And we got some nice little scatter terrain also. Work in progress. This looks like mostly some more of the same. Again, really nice attention to detail. Much more in depth than what I usually do. No wash yet. Nice, nice, nice. Okay, yeah, so we're gonna look for even more definition later. Is that a mold line? What's this? Sorry, I said I won't be too critical on this. But, yeah, good shit. Good shit indeed. And your nice little airbrush poking out from behind there. Alright, so back these guys. That's a barrel threat set me in January. I see. Alright. This is still pretty wet, meaning I don't really have much I'm gonna work on. Too clean? What, for my guys? Also, how you doing, Dentry? But yeah. Are you talking about Warden's Terrain or my Templars? Gotta go, thanks for the stream. Have a good one. And obviously, if anyone is not familiar, check out I Got No Username. Great streams, better videos, and songs. And you were right, those are Turfagons. Nah, the wall. I see. I mean, I think the really clean look sells it for me. I like it. That's just my opinion. So it sounds like... Well, let me see if anyone else has voted. So it sounds like we only have 2 votes, right? Yeah, but then some other people were talking about CSM, so it sounds like next stream is going to be the Chaos Boys. So let me just take a minute and round them all together while we give these guys a few more minutes, see if we can't actually finish them on stream. If it doesn't dry in time, then it's whatever. Let me just glue this guy back together. Let me look for the other 3. I paint grim dark, so... Let's get an Agrax, don't worry. Alright, glued this fella back together. And I will... Those are my walls. Yeah, potentially we're doing a mini review section at the very end of the stream. We'll probably do one next stream also. So I'll open that up. You can join Discord and you can post minis for me to look at the end of every stream. I mean, I think it looks great. Like, I think most people go for the grimdark, super weather terrain. So I think yours has a pretty unique look and style to it. Alright, I found one. Oh, that's right. So I can't quite now Graveyard shit's great. Drakai box art, thank you Dentry. But you're taking ruins. Ah. Well, I found one of the fellas. I definitely had a full squad of 5 Havocs. So, and he has Source Ahead for this guy. His power pack fell off. And you find the remaining 2. But that will probably be our next stream project. Actually, may as well. Let me figure out what head I want for this guy. So I think I'm sort of running low on Chaos Heads. We could do a Possessed one, but I don't really like the look of that. I kind of like this, guy with the eye visor. We could do this one. The horns. Let me get one of the Mark IIs out also. I think I have some Mark IIs over here. Maybe I don't. I have to look in Saturnine, but alright. I think these are the 2 I'm seeing in between. Standard Chaos Space Marine head or the unhelmeted one with the implants. Or the big fella with the chain gun. What do you guys think? Alright. In lieu of opinion, let me get a quick test fit on this. I don't really do many unhelmeted guys. I think just having one would sort of be weird. So I think I'll probably do helmet. Alright, that's gonna be one of our fills for next stream. Came back to say it more clearly. Thanks for streaming. Warhammer is sick. This channel is great. Fuck yeah. Later. Have a good one, man. Thank you for all the kind words. Really appreciate it. Alright. Okay. Looks like I'll finally be able to finish these guys up tonight. We are almost 3 hours in. I'm hoping, let's say, 3 hours 15 minutes will be the end of stream. Also, one, I guess, sort of non-traditional thing I will do is I will basically just utilize paints I already have on my palette. Like, instead of lighting up the orange with another paint, I'll literally just use what I have already out. And in some ways, it actually helps to unify the color scheme. Instead of always whipping out another color. It's so crazy that it's so crazy just that slight color. Actually not liking how the application's going through this brush, so I want something with slightly stiffer bristles. Let me... This one seems a bit big though. Touch the eye to draw people in. So this works. Message retracted. Non-painters don't get it. One second, guys. Alright, there we go. So now I'm noticing a slight issue with the yellow that I want to go and fix. We'll actually get some more yellow on my palette. Alright. Come on. That's enough, honestly. Perfect. All right. Let me grab some tufts. We'll do these two types. Do I have? Yeah, I've got Elmer's glue right here. I have nicer PVA glue, but this is sufficient for tufts, and it dries reasonably clear. I think just the black base rim and this fill is done. just a couple graph stuffs, and the very, very final thing is to paint the base rims. And also varnish, but varnish come off stream. Let's grab some black. And start on the rims. Ooh. Chain broke in the 11th hour. We'll deal with that guy in a moment. All right. Let me, this is wet, but let me at least try and get back in position. And there we go. Right back where it needs to be. So, while those are drying, let me just say, have a good night, everybody. This was a nice stream. If you are just joining us, then there should be a playlist with, I think, 4 streams, which catalog the full painting process of these Templars. And let me just quickly try and flash them on screen one final time. We got all 5 of these heavy Intercessors done. I think this might be my first entirely stream project, besides some transfer work. And besides the pink on some of the purity seals. Actually, let me show off a barrel one. Like that guy. Besides that, basically everything else was done on stream. So that's cool. Alright, good night everybody.